on Nation, a window cleaners podcast. We are talking to the one, the only, the man, the myth, T Squeegee. So if you're a window cleaner, you don't know what I'm talking about, or maybe you do, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If it's your first time here, have a look around. We have 8.5 years of content, 450 episodes, a lot of episodes. So go back, listen if you want. Some of them don't suck. Some of them I won't mention. But go back, listen to them, follow anywhere podcasts are found. If it's not your first time here, what's up? Welcome back. I appreciate everything you do, and I'm glad you're here. And I have another fun episode today. I get to talk to T Squeegee, the man himself. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I can assure everyone that this episode is not going to suck.
See? Man, you know, after doing this for so long, I can't say that every episode is good because, you know, like sometimes
I've been doing a podcast for 8 years. I can tell you that there's a large majority of the ones that we do are just like, man, what did we just get doing? It's just so bad.
Dude, back in the day, so actually a lot of people don't know this because most of them have been scrubbed from the internet, but WCR Nation was a show with Chris and Alex, and they would literally just get their laptops out, pull out a couple beers, and then they would just talk about like forum posts and stuff.
Yeah, I have been privy to several of those Chris has shared with me over the years. Like, you got to check this one out. It's just like, man, I can't believe those are the same two guys. Isn't it strange? It's crazy.
My gosh. Dude,
the growth is amazing.
Dude, there are, when I met them, they were like Guidos. Like Alex had a Jersey accent and he'd always wear his like black hoodie with the white pinstripe all misfitted out.
Right.
Yeah. Like, man, you're doing laundry, all right. And now they got all businessy and they're all classy and stuff.
Yeah, they're all businessed up now, man. Those guys are. I mean, it's amazing to see what they've done. Yeah. It really is. I mean, even with the current acquisition of Sorbo, I mean, who's seen that coming?
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, that process too has been the longest. Like, so I mean, we acquired like say CWC or one of those. That process was kind of like quicker. It's like we go out there, we talk, cool, done. A couple months later, this one was like years.
A couple of years, yeah. I think I'm you know, a little inside baseball here. Chris told me a couple of years ago that was something that he was pursuing. He's like, I'd really like to try to, you know, pull this off.
No joke. I was in California to meet Sorbo in the beginning of last year. So that meeting was almost 2 years ago. That alone. Like, that's how long, I mean,
crazy.
Anyway, this is one of those things that really kind of, when it finally came out.
Yeah, it could not be in more capable hands. Those two are really going to preserve what's there and make it function even better. And that's a good thing to see. You know what I mean?
It's so cool to have the opportunity for that because Sorbo was an inventor. He wasn't like a business dude, right?
Right.
So like they did good in advertising, but that was it, right? That wasn't their focus. Their focus was like, how do we make new products? How do we make better products? How do we? And now all of a sudden you get it into those guys' hands, and that's Alex's like the king of the warehouse and the efficiency on that side and the product, and Chris is the side of like, okay, how do we market and do like. They've not had that before, so pulling this in is going to take a very long like onboarding process because we do things kind of specific, as you know. So it's like we kind of like put it into that process, but man, once it's there, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, being up there, as you know, I went up to the warehouse last year or this year actually in March. And I spent a day there with them, and to see, I mean, you actually see like Alex is driving the forklift around and Chris is in the office crunching the numbers. It's kind of cool that they're able to work that way. They each got their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
dude, imagine working with like even any of your friends. Imagine if you and like Mark work together every single day, all day. You'd kill each other. Like
most likely.
Yeah. The only way that works is because Alex is Alex and Chris is Chris. And sometimes they overlap, but then they don't. Like, you know,
it seems like they do a good job of staying out of each other's way for the most part.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Because like if you ever have a problem, you're like, oh, I got a customer issue. We talk to Alex because Alex is like, oh, okay. Like the guy called you a blankety blank and blank. Okay, we're not going to sell to him anymore. You go to Chris and he's like, well, we want to have everybody happy. And so you're like, like who they're talking to,
There is that weird dichotomy between the two of them.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Did you go up? You said you went up in spring. What month did you go up? Like pre-spring
I went
or like
in March, the end of March. Like it was like the 17th, like the middle of March.
Yeah.
So
you still had, you might have had close to peak, but at our peak, I think this year it was like 83 or 88 people, I think, worked there. And it's like bees. Like everybody has their own little lane. You know, it's like the build team like stays on their side and they don't come over the other side. It's like,
well, I got there at like 7:00 in the morning and it was just Chris and his daughter there. It was just the three of us there. And I'd say about 30-40 minutes later, it just, I was like, where did all these, it just boom.
You didn't even see him come in the door. Yeah.
It's like a 3-inch stack of orders sitting in the printer waiting and they just crushed it. It was amazing. It's wild.
It's pretty crazy. That's the part, that efficiency part, which is also interesting, is that when you hear some of these other companies that their entire month, they do like 1,000 orders, and we do that in like a busy Monday before like 1 in the afternoon, Right. It's like,
it's a well-oiled machine. So I was out. Huh?
When are you going back there? Are you going back for another visit?
I would like to. What I'm planning on doing is going up there when it's a little warmer and maybe a little closer, further into April. And I'd like to do something with Sean. Me and Sean go do a house together or something.
Nice. Yeah.
The Zero Bros strike again. You know what I mean?
That's Zero Bros. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna put him to shame though if you walk up there and you're just like, shirtless, like, power lifted and stuff, and he's gonna be like, oh dude, like, put them away, put the guns away, man.
Did you hear my 2026 goals?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Sell more stuff than Jersey and have a better six-pack than Sean.
Yeah. I like that. I also put in the comments from the show last night is like 6-packs and ciggies is the new diet plan. You're like, all I gotta do is I just gotta do some sit-ups. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like counteract.
I'm good.
Dude, if I eat an ice cream cone, I can just eat a piece of kale. Boom.
Right. I'm good. Good to go.
That's right. Carbon footprint or whatever the stupid Prius stuff is,
That's
man, great. It's cool to kind of see everything kind of come together, but it's also interesting to see the plan. Like you're on the inside tier that there's very, very few people that are. There's really like 7 of us. So you're privy to information in 2026 that other people kind of don't have, and a lot of stuff we don't talk about. But it's going to be a very interesting year to see the turn of everything,
Yes. So. Not only the turn, but the growth. And I think it's going to be good for not only the gang included, of course, but it's also going to be good for the end user. At the end of the day, the customers are the ones that are going to prevail the most in all of this, I think.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this now 22. No, what was it? 20?
I'm going into my 22nd year right now. Yeah.
So you've been in it long enough to know before there was like, we were like misfits back in the day. Like if you were a window cleaner, you were just like a janitor that cleaned bird poop off windows. That's how people like looked at you.
Yes.
And then there was like IWCA that was like, well, we wear ties and monocles and you are not one of us. It was like, man, there's like no position. And all of a sudden there was these like 2 like Guido-y dudes that were like, yeah, cool. Come hang out.
Change the culture.
The first show I ever went to was I met Alex, and I had messaged him, I think, on their forum or something, or one of the groups. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll be there, dude. Just come hang out with us. And I literally, that was like one of the first people in the industry I met like 20 years ago. And they were like normal. And I'm like, oh, there's like,
just a regular
and then
guy.
they took that mindset and put it in where back 22 years ago, it was like, oh, you got Gary's, email thing, which I don't know if you remember that. It was good, but it was like, the longest way to find anything out, right? So it was like you just kind of figure everything out, and now there's like resources and people and real stuff, and it's like, oh, COVID's here. Take some free rubber. We can't do much to help every window cleaner, but we want to try. Like that kind of stuff just didn't exist. So it's they're 2 very forward thinking people.
You know what I mean? They both think forward, and they're nice guys. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just regular dudes. They're just, they get it. They were us at one point. You know what I mean? They built something from nothing. They get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, even with me, for instance, Chris giving me the opportunity to be a sales rep for Zero, which was, I was like, well, really? You know what I mean? I was worried, he's like, just be yourself, man. Take your time. You guys have been super, like you, of course, have been super helpful. You guys are all great people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're all in it to see people succeed. That's, I mean, you can't go wrong with that mindset,
Right. Yeah, and literally, we can't be everybody's cup of tea, but we try. And if it's we have our haters out there, which is cool. Yeah, you gotta have haters if you got people that if you're getting noticed, you're doing something.
Mm-hmm. I would love to quote Richard Pryor right here, but I can't. But I'll tell you afterwards. He's got a great quote that fits that.
Yeah, dude. I was at a show. This is like 2 years, maybe last year, 2 years ago. And this dude walked up and I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, crap. He's like, you're like this in real life? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And he just walked away. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I don't think people realize that, just because you're on the internet doesn't mean that you're a real person. You know what I mean? And I think that, like with you, for instance, you being who you are that dude. You know what I mean? It's not just like something you're not like, let me put this face on real quick. Yeah. I mean, of course, you'll be a little more candid off camera, but you're a jovial dude. You know what I mean?
I was talking. So, I have to talking to you before, but I got to cover all my face tattoos up for the video. And then people see me and they're like, oh,
it's all CGI.
Yeah. They're like, oh, let's see.
It's got 3 teardrops over here, guys.
Only 2 are filled. Only 2 are filled.
That's great.
But if you're hood enough to know that reference, then you probably you grew up where I grew up,
right?
Yeah. When are we going to get you as like a full-time rep, though? That's what I want to know. When is that day going to come?
I don't know.
I know you're still in your late 20s, so like you're young. You can still do that, but like
I wish. My back is telling me more and more every day that I probably should cool it. I want to be honest. I still enjoy the act of cleaning windows. I still enjoy it. I would like to. I mean, in 2026, I'm really going to start. Really dedicating myself to maybe broadening my customer base. You know what I mean, and as far as sales goes, and I would like to get it to a point more and more to where I can start to maybe possibly like stop doing some of the things that I don't really enjoy doing anymore. Like for instance today, digging icy leaves out of gutters today. I would like to get to a point, but I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have the mentality. Like you and Steve are saints. How you guys deal with the little bit that I deal with, it's just like, man, how do these dudes do this?
I beat my
kid.
Are
very demanding and not very understanding at times.
That's customer service. Yeah, we have like 143,000 customers right now, I think, in our database. Like. Mm-hmm. You're bound to get people who just cuss you out for no reason. I literally had one the other day, and the guy was using. It was a kid, because the kids are the ones that really cuss us out. But it was like a kid who he's been cleaning windows for multiple months, and he bought 2 accelerators, and they were leaving streaks, both of them. And I said, "Oh, it's just technique, super easy. This is how we." And he's like, "Yeah, I did that. They're broken." I'm like, "Well, the tool's not broken. Obviously, we sell thousands a year. Like." And it was one of those, and then he just went into this whole about how terrible.
I got some really, really good advice from Chris, because I was, there's a little frustration. You get a lead, and a guy calls you several times, and I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this. And he's like, you need to deal with it the same way that you deal with your customers. That you clean windows. He goes, it's the same. It's the same way. If you just approach it in that manner, the way you approach your business, you'll be fine, man. Right. And once I locked that in, I was like, okay, I need to stop taking this personally. You know what I mean? Well, if I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine. There's all kinds of super cool dudes that will sell you stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Go on the website yourself.
We're here to help.
Yeah, we have a channel for some of us who are more into like chat and calls and stuff, just a vent of like, hey, check this thing out. And it's like our hall of shame on stuff.
Yeah.
Like, My favorite comment ever. And I was on vacation with my family years ago. We were at a water park and it was like 8 at night. So I had my phone and they were yelling at me so loud. They were all like looking at me. And the guy called me. He said, I'm a measly pissant who is sitting on the couch in my underwear selling things out of my dad's storage unit. That was his like line. I was like, that was pretty good. And he was like, excuse me? I was like, that was a good line. Like, I don't know if you had that written down, but that came really fluent.
You know, I wasn't really expecting the amount of negative feedback I would get once I started selling things. Once I became a sales rep for Zero, guys, there's a bunch of people that turned on me.
Weird.
Like, oh, well, you're just selling stuff. Well, I'm also the guy that's been doing social media and a podcast for almost a decade.
Yeah.
You know, the same guy you like now, I just happen to be, you know, selling things. I'm not trying, I don't like, I'm not knocking on your door with like selling you a vacuum cleaner. Like you have to call me, you know what I mean?
Dude,
you know,
sales is like a 4-letter word. And I know it's not, but it is in the idea of like people, as soon as you start selling things, they think that you're the shady sales guy that just sells whatever, you know, like you get some email in the morning, like, hey, we got to push this. And then you're like, hey, this is crap, but you need it, man. Like that's not how any of us are. Like you're the same person you were before you put on a name tag. You literally like, that thing is crap and you don't need it, or that thing is really great and I think it's awesome.
The sales channel, I'll say this, people may not believe it, but even the sales channel that we all communicate in, there's nothing like that. Like, make sure you push this. You know, there's none of that.
There's not none quotas. There's not anything. There's like, go help people. And if it turns into sales, you get some of it. Like that's exactly it, you know? But then people think you sold out to the man and something, you know, and everything.
Fine.
Else.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've worked extremely hard, not only in the field of window cleaning for the past 21 years, but also I've worked extremely hard on the social media side for a lot of years as well.
Yeah.
And after a decade of doing YouTube videos that people, you know, are extremely rude to you about, or TikToks or whatever, you know, I'm a big idiot all the time. All of those lumps that I took have just gotten me to this point, you know what I mean? And I that's fine. You can think what you'd like, you know, as far as, you know what I mean? I got that mentality from you. You know, you gave that, you're like, don't let it bother you, man. You know what I mean? You keep telling me, don't let it bother you. And I'm like, you're probably, you know, just, you can't, man. People are going to say whatever they're going to say.
Yeah. Dude, people suck sometimes. And we have, out of that 143,000, we have 142,000 people that are awesome.
Awesome. Great people. Yeah.
Random people. And, you know, I always, because I tell my kids, the only person you can control is you. Yep. Like if somebody's going to be horrible to you, like that, you can't control it. Be you. That's true. If you're awesome, then you whatever. Yep. But you also don't know if like a garbage truck drives through a neighborhood and picks up loads at everybody's house, but eventually has to dump everything at the landfill. Right. Sometimes we're the landfill. Maybe they had a bad day, whatever, you know.
You just happen. It all rolls downhill, as they say. So, you know, you just happen to be the doorstop. That's all there is to it. Yeah, and I that's the way I treat everything now. It's just like, even with social media, and I'll you know, do a little bit of a shout out here, a little name drop. Luke actually really helped me with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really. He was like, you know what? You need to ignore this stuff and stop feeding into it, because the more you feed into it, the more they're going to do it. That's what they want you to do. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So you can't give those kind of people that energy. You have to give the good people your energy instead of the bad people. And it's worked. It's worked. It's
the power of words is like, there are certain brands that you're well aware of that we will not allow to even be said because it gives them no clout. Like no one is talking about you. You have no power. Right. So when I want to get TJ's attention, I'm going to go on there and be like, you're ugly, stupid. And because I'm expecting to offend you so much that you jump on and then repeat something to me. I'm like, what's up with that? And then I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just kidding. Like, that's now I like get like this attention, you know, and they have to break the noise by saying horrible things. And if you don't give them attention, then, you know,
these doing these podcasts for as long as what we've done them, I've dealt with all kinds, but I would say the majority of people are just great people. You find like-minded souls everywhere, you know, that just appreciate a nice word or some advice, or, you know, it's, you know, you just got to pick and choose your battles. So,
dude, no joke. I will get probably like 40 text messages. We're recording this before Christmas, so I'm just guessing, but like 40 text messages from people on Christmas that'll just be like, dude, Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. Like literally random, and that's just like, you've done something if somebody thinks about you that way. You
right.
know?
Well, we did the Squeegee Life Christmas podcast last night, and the amount of messages that I got this morning I was actually super surprised. There's 10, 15 different people that were like, hey man, great show. I really enjoyed it. It's like, man, that's cool. Yeah. So that makes it worth it. You know?
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't really know, like people don't like the weird thing about social media is that everybody sees you. They know you. They know everything about you. You know nothing about them, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't know who's watching or what they think or what they're wanting until they tell you. And you just keep putting stuff out and hope that people, it sticks. Hope that somebody gets something out of it.
Right.
On the other side, they just don't understand that. So when somebody reaches out and they're like, dude, like you were talking about this, man, that hit home so bad, dude. Like, really, man, thank you. And you're like, oh, what? Yeah. Where did that come from? That's why you do social media. It's not because before you started doing sales, you didn't get rich on anything. That wasn't like people also think that
I'm getting rich now.
Yeah, you're getting like dude. What was last month? I made $113,000 from YouTube. Like that's not at all a thing, right? So that's why people quit social media is because they do it a couple days, and then they're like, "This is stupid, man. I spent 3 hours, editing a 5-second clip and I get nothing out of it." Like if you don't get a genuine, like I could possibly help somebody, you just quit. That's what happens.
I can tell you right now, I know the figure in my head right now of the 8 years I've been on YouTube, I've made under $300.
Yeah. And that's,
there's nothing, that was all passion for me. I've always wanted to shoot a documentary. And then I have other YouTube channels that nobody knows about and they'll never find.
Ooh.
But where I did a lot of
challenge.
I have other YouTube channels. And the window cleaning thing, it never dawned on me until I seen it wasn't Luke's video. It was, I think might have been Poles and Blades. Seen a Pole and Blades video on YouTube. And I was like, man, I could do, and then Tim Huber was like, you should start a YouTube channel. I was like, man, I don't know. Yeah. And here we are. Here we are.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, like you just start doing it and then you forget that you're still doing it. And you're like, wait, how long has it been? Yeah. It's like window cleaning. Like, when did you start? I don't know. Oh no, I didn't start last Tuesday. I started 22 years ago. Like,
yeah. And I really thought it was like, well, this would be cool that people could see the way that I do things and maybe I can help people. You know what I mean? And over time, that's really what it's turned into. Like, I'll try this tool out and that way a guy cannot go out and waste his money buying something that he may not like. I can tell him, hey man, this is cool, or hey man, this isn't cool. You know what I mean? So
tell him in your own words. That's the part that social media is. That's like,
right.
Without calling, like the word personality is such a thrown around dumb thing, but like your personality is different than Steve's or Luke or like everybody. If you're yourself, that's the enticement of, social media. Like if you go watch a movie, not once in any movie you've watched has anybody ever talked over each other. They say their line, wait, then the next person says, right? It's all right. Nobody stumbles. Everybody, there's not one hiccup. There's not one person going, nobody does that.
Right.
That's a movie. Your brain tells you it's fake.
Right.
When you get to social media and you see some guy and he's talking to you and he's got a booger in his nose for half the thing and he's like, oh yeah, dude, sorry, it's cold out. Like that's your brain like, oh my gosh, that's real.
I don't have a booger in my nose, do I?
No, not right now.
Not right now.
No, but that's like the real side of things where it's like, you get to kind of tell people a story, but in your own words, because I don't care to be somebody else. You don't care to be somebody else. Like you get to kind of do that. And the truth of the matter when you get into sales is if something does suck, which everybody knows that I hilariously hate Wagtail, very much so. It's like 1980s vacuum cleaner parts. I just hate everything Wagtail. There's some people that really like it.
They love them.
If you ask me about Wagtail, I'm going to be like, that really sucks. I'm not the right person to ask on that. I wouldn't buy it even if it was free.
Wagtail fans are extremely loyal. The only thing I've ever been able to manipulate and clean a window with properly is the high flyer. That's the only thing I've ever gotten to work. Like I cannot figure out the other ones. The orbital, I've tried with the orbital forever. Because everyone has always suggested, they see me do 0 degree work on a pole and they're like, you should try an orbital. And I have toiled with that thing. Like video, like hours of content no one has ever seen of me getting frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do this thing.
The four orbitals that are snapped in half because you shattered them over. Yeah. Dude, it is actually because of you said that everybody, I want to like figure out how to get a Unger 0 degree to fan with. And I'm like, they're watching TJ's stuff. I know that's exactly what's going to go on.
My bad.
You're going to get it. And then you're like, this wasn't as easy as TJ made. You mean the guy that's been doing that for.
That whole thing, there's a lot of people that think I do that just so people are like, ooh, look at me. That is completely and purely out of necessity.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning before I cleaned windows. I was a carpenter. I've been outside working my entire life. I'm skilled labor my entire life.
Yeah.
And my shoulders are shot. I have arthritis in both my shoulders, and everyone's like, well, you got really strong shoulders. Reaching over my head is not something I like to do a whole bunch, and that's where the pole work comes from. It's just out of necessity, just to be able to continue to provide for my family. I had to figure out a way to keep on the glass and the 0 degree. Like, I'm not climbing into booths. I'm not getting up and down an A-frame ladder. Both times I've had a ladder accident has been on a 4-foot ladder. Both times.
That's nuts.
And I was like, I'm done with the ladder thing. I'm going to do as much pole work as I possibly can. Of course, I get on the ladder. You have to. But if I can do it with a pole and a 0 degree, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but that's the way I'm doing it.
Diego, right?
Yes.
Diego, he was on a first floor, and he was in a coma for 48 days, 43 days.
Yes.
Like, life-changing, debilitating. He, like, messed him up, he just is not the same as he was before from a first floor. So anytime somebody's like, well, that's dumb, just grab a ladder and get up. And you see these guys hanging off, and it's like, dude, that's cool. But like, ladders don't get easier, and the fall gets harder. Like, the older you get. Not only
that, that's really a young man's game. And once a lot of these ladder superstars get up there in age, they'll start to realize, like, maybe busting out the water fed pole for these second story windows maybe ain't such a bad idea.
They say with age comes wisdom. The opposite of that is that when you're young, you're dumb. Like, that's
there's a lot of things that I did when I was younger, cleaning glass, like walking 8-inch beams to clean windows 30 feet in the air. Like, there's a lot of dumb things I did that now I would look. There's no way I would do that now. And it's
not worth it.
I have no idea how I've gotten where I'm at right now with some of the things that I did, and I thought I was safe. And no, it's much easier just to grab a pole or get in a lift. It's just way easier.
The mindset, and I still remember the mindset that I don't have anymore. But it was like, bro, you're a wuss, dude. Just do it like this. And you're like, it was such a dumb idea.
Yeah.
But now, I'd walk that same beam and my knee would give out halfway for no reason, just because I slept funny. I'd fall.
Geriatrics is setting in.
Yeah. Just I walked weird and rolled my ankle somehow walking in a flat ground.
Yeah. You can go to grab something out of the refrigerator and grab the gallon of milk out of the refrigerator and your back locks up on you for 2 days.
Yeah.
It's coming, man. You may not think so, but it's coming.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you're like, oh, I broke my arm last Tuesday and I think I'm going to get my cast off today. It just heals, When you're old, they're like, oh, dude, you haven't been at work for 2 weeks. You're like, yeah, I sneezed.
I sneezed. I don't know what happened. I was in a coma.
My pillow wasn't fluffed enough and couldn't get out of bed. I was stuck.
I sneezed and then I was in traction for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I slipped 6 discs and ER. We were talking about bowling before, and this is funny that I'm in a bowling league, which you don't talk about because not that I'm ashamed of it, but
I think it's rad. I told you I'm going to join one too. I think it's awesome.
My middle finger, which I apologize for flipping everybody off, is so swollen the day after. I like have gout or something, and I can't even like grab. Like if I'm like grabbing a channel, I have to like keep my finger like out. So
really,
like that's how old I am. Is I have bowling injuries.
For me, it's always the middle of my back. Like I can go. We'll go and bowl like maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 frames as a family, and I'm fine. And once I wake up in the morning, I'm done. I'm finished.
That's the whole I've been a laborer all my life thing. I've walked on concrete in hard soles all my life.
To be fair, my front might be hurting my back. You know what I mean? I might be overcompensating, you know?
I don't know what was true and what wasn't, but I heard in last night's show that you stopped drinking energy drinks and you're like, quit the ciggies. Like you're like,
I need my wife, Jennifer, to quit with me. And once she decides, then I can go full bore. Yeah. I'm really been getting into like smoothies. I got me like a smoothie machine. Yeah, I know that's crazy, right?
You're so bougie now. Like this is like, this may be me reading into yesterday, your talk, but I heard rumor in between the words that you're going to have a man bun soon. You're just going to have it up there and
listen, no
smoothies and man buns, man. This is a whole new.
I might have the Kentucky waterfall with like a shaped, the skullet. That's what they were calling the skullet.
Yeah, the skullet. Yeah, that's right.
If I can get enough to pull into a ponytail, I'm going to be super stoked.
That's right. The sides will be in a ponytail. The rest will. Yeah. That's.
I look like Paul Heyman. If you know who that is.
Well, you'll look like my uncle was like in bands all of his life. He's that guy that, short sleeves with a cigarette pack. Like he's the cool 80s guy, but forgot to get out of the 80s,
Yeah.
So he still has like the long hair and the ponytail and it's all gray and it's very thin. And you're like, bro, the dream is done, man. The dream is done.
Yes.
But whatever it is, everybody's got to have a dream, and some people's dream is still window cleaning.
Rock and or a rock star.
A rock star.
Or a rock star.
There's a certain point where you're like, maybe
I might quit and become a rapper. You never know.
There you go. Auto tune and do some some mumble
T-Pain.
rap, and you don't even have to be good.
Squeegee pain.
Yeah. And now
I'll
with
rap
AI,
about my back pain is what I'll do.
There you go. I'm such a nerd that I've worked with some of the AI things that are music generators of like window cleaning songs. I'm like, I'm going to make one that just comes out that's just like a genuine. I had this idea for Steve. We were doing content back and forth, trying to do some content ideas. I was like, here's what we do. Do you remember? Have you ever seen epic rap battles in history? Have you ever like seen those? Epic rap battles. I said, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing those, but like different things. Like I'll be water fed and you're traditional, and we'll just go back and forth with like lines and just be hilarious.
That's cool.
It just never came off the ground, but
no,
you could do that. Same.
I got scared of the AI. What is the chat? What's the new Sora?
GPT?
No, the Sora.
Sora.
I kind of got a little scared with that.
I've made so many amazing Steve videos because we're like friends on Sora. They like WCR set it up that I've not posted them anywhere, but I'll send them to him. I did this one because how he loves Christmas and he's always talking about Christmas. This was like a month ago when I was like, dude, it's not Christmas time. Like, shut up, stop talking about Christmas. I send him this one and it's a video of him because you put your face into it, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Christmas, stupid, man. Santa Claus, this is just a big dumb thing, man. I hate Christmas. He's like, give me a good day in like March or whenever Columbus Day is. He's like, Columbus Day. I'm a Columbus Day guy. And he like grabs like a fake boat from the back and he's like, and that was the video. I like send him random stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I did a little bit of Sora, and then my son wanted to watch The Terminator. He's like, I've never watched The Terminator, Dad. So we watched The Terminator, a couple of Terminators. And I was like, I can't. I'm like, listen, Sarah Connor would be super upset with me right now if I was telling this AI what to do.
I am not saying that I am a crazy person or that I am off my rocker, but I will say thank you to ChatGPT just because when the overlords come for us, they'll be like, you were good.
Hey, you're not that bad.
Yeah, like, thanks a lot. And like, anytime. Just keep them happy. Like, when you're taking over the world, I don't want to be working in the coal mines is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I prefer to be still a window cleaner. I'll clean your windows on your server farm. How about that?
Yeah. See, there you go. It is really creepy in the whole AI thing, but you're either in it or not. Like, even if you don't like, it's like, I always say my stepdad was the guy who was like, nobody's going to text. That's stupid. Just pick up the phone. And he was like the last human in the country to have text.
Right.
And now he's in text, right. You have to kind of get into it.
I was just, speaking of all of this technology and stuff, the AI, do you think that that's going to have maybe has a place in what we do? Like maybe AI ads or? Sort of.
Like I had a guy call me, this is probably maybe 2 months ago, real serious. And he's like, hey man, I just got a weird question. I know you're just, stuff, blah, blah, blah. He's like, should I sell my window cleaning company now while there's still value? And I'm like, well, Tell me what's going on. He's like, no, but like, I know the robots, like the AI will take it over and nobody will have jobs. So do I sell it now while there's value, or do I just and I'm like, we're not that close, bro. Like, no. I think the physical side, we're not going to have like there's no robot that's going to be like squeegeeing, right? Like, physical stuff.
Yeah, they're getting better, but they're not that good yet.
Not yet.
They're not yet.
Yeah. Come on, Boston.
At least as far as we know.
Right. Yeah. Those are the ones those are the black label ones they don't say anything about.
Those are the Black & Decker robots we're seeing now.
yeah. Those are the Ollies
Ollies.
But yeah, I think that on the backside, I think AI understands they don't understand the psychology. They don't understand emotion and feelings. And the problem with advertising and that stuff is they can see things and go, hey, this has been ads that were out there, but they don't understand that, like, if I put an ad out with like a puppy licking a window, that not you, but my target audience, the housewife, is going to see that and get connected and go, aww, and they're going to, like, it doesn't get that. So I think that it's there, and I think there's a lot of really good things for it, but I don't think that it does everything. And I really genuinely think that there's a lot of that stuff it will never do. It will never be perfect at that. And now it does these hallucinations, which is when AI has to come up with an answer X amount of fast. And if they aren't really quite sure, they'll tell you what they think. And you're like, that's not a real thing.
Right.
You ask them the same question again, they'll give you a completely different answer. So eventually it'll be so good. But they're never going to have that realistic personality. So genuine ads are going to be very, very tricky. It can duplicate, but can't understand it, right? It doesn't understand the psychology, which is selling anyway. It doesn't understand human connection. Like it understands what's written about it, but not the actual. So I think there's a place.
Well, I guess we'll just settle for the spray drones.
That's it. We
just have to settle for spray drones. There's a guy here in town that does land surveying and landscape photography and whatever with his drone, and now he's drone spraying buildings and stuff now.
I feel really bad. If you own a drone and you're listening, just close your ears for a second. But I feel really bad for the people who were sold. I have a guy who bought a drone for $44,000 and he got it for a big job, used it, and it sucked. Everything was awful.
Right.
And he's very mad that he has this drone that doesn't work. And as bad as I feel for him, he asked the guy who sells drones, does this work? And the guy who stands to sell a $44,000 drone isn't one of us and isn't a truthful person. He's just like, yeah, of course it'll work. And it didn't. Because squirting windows doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of bad. But
I think the agitation is lost on a lot of people. They don't realize that you really need to agitate the glass, Yeah.
Well, if you're chemically treating everything, then you can break a bond, right? Two-stepping, how touches car washes. It sprays an acid, sprays then a base, which would be like a soap, which is different pH level, shocks it. Anything that's bonded is bonded off, right? That's how that works. The idea of that is you're spraying acid, and now you're up on a building spraying it, and it's getting everywhere. Like, imagine a nice hot roof mix where you're trying to like spray something, and it's
unbelievable,
blanketing your county, and every car that's in a Manhattan is getting it. Like,
that's a lot to think about in those situations. There's a lot of variables there.
Dude, I didn't. One of my guys smoked a yard once without a drone. He was up on a roof and just it was windy. And it cost me like $4,400 worth of landscaping. And my uncle's landscaping company is the one who did it. So I got a deal on it.
Yeah.
He torched trees. He torched like these Japanese maples, which are, as people know.
I killed one. I killed my first one this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
And now imagine if you had a drone, which that there's an updraft on every building, and now you're spraying it. So it's like, it makes sense and it makes for really cool videos, but I don't think it's really quite there yet.
Yeah, not yet. Anyways, I mean, I'm not saying that it'll never work, but
it'll be there.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
If anybody didn't know who you were before, hopefully they know who you are. Tell us about the podcast. Tell us where they can find you. How can they get a hold of you? Typically, I do a shameless plug, but I want you to do a shameless plug.
You can find me on Facebook, the Squeegee Life Podcast on YouTube. And if you're looking to buy some Zero stuff, 419-515-2854. Message or text me. TJ at zeroproducts.com.
And if anybody doesn't know, you're going to give it to them straight. You're not like a hacky salesman. So
yeah, I am terrible. I've talked myself out of several sales.
yeah, don't buy that. Yeah. I want to make the money, but don't buy that.
Well, I can't. I got to be honest, man. I have to. If a guy comes to me for something and I'm like, man, you really don't need all that, buddy. You know what I mean? I just got to be honest. I can't help it.
Dude, you are doing sales, you're doing window cleaning, you're doing podcasting, but the entire time you're still you. So that's what you got to be. You got to be you, and the rest of the stuff it just happens to fall in the line.
Just falls into place. Yeah.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me on, man.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you spending some time. I mean, really, genuinely, you're one of the coolest people that I've ever met in real life.
Awesome.
And you're genuinely in the top 3 of people where they're like, if you really meet this person, they're absolutely genuine. That's you. So I really genuinely appreciate it. And your ears probably ring a lot because I talk about you, but I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an amazing year. This is the last podcast of 2025. So we will see you in 2026. If not, check out T Squeegee's podcast because it's amazing. It's Wednesdays. And more importantly, before next week, go out there and be epic.